This is stainless steel. Stainless steel, 2 inches long. The pot is slightly over an inch thick by the time it's on, and so this unthreaded section will sit in the center. So why don't I go ahead and do a quick demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on and show you. It goes in here like this, and then this one on the opposite side. Let me go ahead and show you that. So we're looking in on the inside of the pot. Here's that 1/2 inch brass compression nut, and you tighten it up, these two. The rubber's going to put pressure and seal this wall. I want to show this. I did use plumbing tape on this to keep the water from worming its way through the threads on this side. Okay, so the nut's on the opposite side that I showed you. I'm going to tighten it from the front. They work in tandem, so tightening in the front will do it. And I don't want to over tighten it. This is pottery. So you can see that. Okay, that feels about like 20 pounds of pressure, you know, guesstimate, but I can see that it's in the back here. It's pushing down on the rubber gasket. This is that rubber gasket is rated for sinks, by the way, so it's you know, like a hose gasket if you have one of those and it fits a pipe. This is a 1/2 inch pipe, worked really good. There we go. So the next thing to do will be to install my spigot. It's a 1/2 inch spigot. This is the female, there's the male, obviously, and it's a 1/4 turn. So it's closed now. You can see that the ball is closed, and I don't want to sit there and spin it, and it's open. Make sure you can see that. Show it to you. That's closed. 1/4 turn. It's fully open. So here's my Teflon tape, and I'm going to try and keep it close to the front. I want to get this thing to lock in quickly, or water tight quickly, so I'm going to try and keep the tape as close as I can to the front, and I'm putting it on nice and thick and heavy. Not a lot of pressure on this nozzle, so you know, you don't have to really overdo it, but that's a good amount. You know, most plumbing is going to be like 80 psi. This is going to be like 10 or 15 depending on the water pressure. And here we go. We're putting it on, and everything's going to tighten when you turn this. Oh, it's getting on nice and tight, really tight. It should do it. Okay, that's in the off position. That's the on position. Sure, it's in the light. You can see that it's a number 4 cork. I've seen no water leaking out after 15 minutes, so let's turn on the spigot and see how it works out. Well, there it is. Easy clean out. This is 1/2 inch PVC pipe, and this is what's going to keep the tower erect. Alright, so it fits through. You can see that. There it is, running through. Okay, so that's in, it's glued in, it's nice and snug. I'm ready to custom fit it to the pot. It's going to keep this from falling over once again. The pot, and I'm centering it, looking at the center hole, and that looks dead on with my markings below. So I need to install pipes. There's a female coupling, it'll be easy to fit, and I'm going to go ahead and stick them in there, and that's going to keep this thing from falling over. There we go. Okay, so I connected this one, and we're going to go ahead and size this up, stick it over, and see how it fits. So here's how it fits in. See, if it goes this way, it can only lean that far, and that's not going to allow the instrument to fall. Okay, so here's the test. You just don't want this thing, because it's not as wide as the pot, to just fall over. So we're going to put this on as though it's in operation, and it can't go anywhere. It's a really good setup. So it looks good and secure. I'll need a place for the cord to drape over when I run it in, so I need to do these flanges. I just got one started. It's time to set up the fountain for its first performance. Zipper, what do you think? I've got the stand in, and here is the pump that I'm going to be using. It's a 160 gallon per hour adjustable pump with the screen open all the way. That gives you maximum flow. And you can shut it down, and it does close, but it continues to flow roughly at about half the speed of 160 gallons per hour, which is nice because you don't know how you want your lift. So if you're doing a fountain and you're not quite sure, this is perfect because you can adjust it. It comes with this hose. Here, I'm going to show you. It's a smaller hose. This is a 1/4 of an inch hose, and it comes with the adapters. The adapter is in the box away from here. This is the larger adapter, so I purchased a larger hose. This is 1/2 inch. The outside is a 1/2 inch diameter, and the inside diameter where the water flows is 3/8 of an inch, so you get a higher volume of water versus this one. We're going to go ahead and just do an eyeball measurement here, putting it in. So I've got it down the center here, and I want a little bit of slack in it, give me some room to maneuver, and the topper is going to sit here, so I'm going to cut it about right here. I can always cut a little bit more, but more is better in this case, because if you undercut it, then you're going to waste that long piece of tubing, which isn't expensive at all, but you definitely don't want to waste material. I'm ready to put on the topper, and here we're going to set this here so the topper doesn't lay on the cord and it stays level. And I'm going to go ahead and insert the topper. Okay. There we go. There we go. There's the topper is on. The topper weighs approximately 20 pounds. It's very heavy. Gravity's going to hold it in place. For clean out, you'd simply take the top off if you want to, and you can pull out all the stuff if you feel there's a need for it. If you have it in a very sunny spot and you're getting algae buildup, you just pull this out, wipe it off. Because it's plastic, it'll be really easy to clean off. It's a ceramic pot, doesn't leak. If you need to, use a light brush on it to scrub it. You got the nozzle in the back to drain the water. It's probably most of the cleanouts, you're just going to be simply draining the water. You check it every day, make sure the water is clear. If it's not clear, open the spigot and water your tree. That's what my intention is. You could run a garden hose out to any plants. I've got a myriad of plants in my yard, and you could certainly go that direction. So in other words, you're recycling the water. You're not wasting it. There's no waste. Want to install the hose, so here we go. Let's put it in. It's nice and snug, and there we go. Our hose is installed. I'm using 3M electrical tape. I want to get a nice tight fitting here. Come all the way around. I'm going to go back over it. It plugs in at the wall. I have a shut-off switch because I have a GFI switch. I'll show that to you here on the screen. Here's my GFI outlet. Show it to you. You can test it. Push the button, test it, make sure it's operational, plug in. Using 3M electrical tape, it's really good. It sticks and it does its job. It's what it's for. Here's something I bought on Amazon. I'll go ahead and show this to you. This is designed for this setup. It's an electrical box for exterior cords. So if you really like doing your holiday lights, you could go with this. This technique works fine for me. Once again, I have the shut off. It detects any kind of anomaly and trips the circuit breaker. So it's a very safe thing to use with this. This here is a light duty exterior extension cord. The pump only pulls 10 watts, which is extremely low. Extremely low. Flashlights can put out more than that if they're fully charged. And I'll put a link to this into the description in case you're interested. And we're going to snap it shut. And it's ready to go. So I've got a double protection here. And looks kind of nice. And I'm just going to put it back here behind the fountain. And I'll show you that in a minute. There's the setup. 10 watts. Very, very, very low electricity flow through that wire. I'm going to fill it with water and get it running. Okay, so here it is running. I've got the pump open full bore. I tried it on low and it was coming out nice, but it was staying down. I like this spill better. See, the water flows over the side into here. And something to talk about here is this is a little pool of water. So in between these sun's rays, there's a place for the birds to bathe. Here we have a level of PVC, and I'm only casting in one color, whether it's one or multiples. Multiples are much more complicated. Anyways, here we go. This is the center where the hole's going to be. This will not stay. And then if you taped it, the concrete would leak underneath and it would chip when you start breaking it away. I think it would look really bad. Your best option is to drill a hole. It only takes a few minutes. This is going to cause you trouble. The next step is to spray this with oil. This is just a cooking oil. Get it in there, and I'm going to wipe it off with a paper towel. It's too heavy, but I want it to, this mold's been used many, many times, so I really want that oil to get down in there. And I'll let it set up for a few minutes and I'll come back and wipe it off. So this is a thin tissue. It's going to absorb the oil and keep spreading it around. I don't want to remove it. I just want to get rid of puddling and in the eyes and so forth. It's going to puddle in the divots. So I'm just going to come through and wipe it off. Make sure there's oil on the outside, splashing concrete. And they come up and stick on there. It just makes it easier to get off. This mold's been used, I'm going to guess, 20 times. It takes a lot of work to clean it each time. It's well worth cleaning it though. This is sand, and here's my level. Make sure this is level on both sides. So I'm using this here. I need these to get set in. I'll by eyeballing it, and it's looking good. This is 20 cups of rapid set cementol, and this is 2 cups of a bright yellow oxide, and I'm going to go ahead and add that in there. There we go, and mix it in. With this being rapid set cementol, it's going to set up in about 20 minutes, and you can basically pull it out of the mold in roughly 2 hours. You know, an hour they say, but I'd give it 2. But it cures within 1 day, or in 1 day, I should say. It cures in a day, whereas regular concrete that I work with, love Quikrete, it sets up in 28 days and is cured. So this is really a fast setting cement. Give you a heads up on that.